Okay, so this session changed the topic, right? No more building the lab. So this session about security. Have you heard any keynotes about vDefend? This is a new name of NSX security. So now when you buy VCF, you only have network storage and compute. So NSX is part of the VCF bundle. So on top of that, we have a package called security. Then the old name NSX security, the new name we call it VMware vDefend. So here to talk more about the container security running on top of vDefend. Have we used NSX here? No? No? Oh, that's great. So NSX now support container. For those who don't know it, we have NCP with the plugin. We have Antrea. And so we talk about Antrea. We talk now the other thing to do container AKO, which is AVI, do load balancing. So let me skip in here. So what I showed today is to solve all the problem we have on the container world, the platform, how easy we build it, how easy we scale it, security, management, and scale. So security, we don't talk. So when you want to go more details, I have two links in here. The first one, you can read only lab. So NSX id.vmwaredemo.net. Logging easy, right? App 01 password. Or you stop by the booth, folks can share with you the access. The second one is the lab. So in the HOL VMware, just search for vDefend. So we have all the labs. Okay? Wondering how do you build it? Easy. You just stop by the booth. We're going to share with you how you build it. Whatever you show today, you can go and build by your own. Sorry. So I try to start at the high level, what vDefend is, do, and then narrow down to the container security. So that is the whole thing we talk about vDefend. vDefend is advanced services. When you buy VCF, you have now we add services. You can add Tangzu, you can add all the things. So part of that, you can network security and load balancer. Okay, so the one to focus on the lab today, we talk about security, how we prevent the lateral threat movement, ransomware protection, zero trust, micro-segmentations, those kind of things we do in the security side. So this is the packaging we're offering. Then you already have you customer vDefend yet? Not yet, right? So what two packages we can add on top? This is called a basic package. To include all the basic security, east-west for internal data center or north-south, gateway firewall, or security intelligence, which is analytic machine learning running on top of that, collect all the flow and make recommendations. And the last one people forget a lot is container security. Well, you only bought that, you only have it. So the whole package, you cannot buy one by one, that's the whole package. And the second one is the advanced package, is the same thing like the basic one, plus all of the malware preventions, ransomware protection, all of that is the second layer package. Very simple. First, buy the VCF license. Second, either left or right. And the right, you have the whole tech stack. So I'm focused on the yellow one today. What the feature we have in container security? What are you doing? Why we need that? And then that's how we end up with this thing, right? When we see that, when we do all of that with NSX in the past, or network security, we have protection from left to right. We call it defend in depth or zero trust, whatever you call it. For the first one, the gateway firewall protect your incoming traffic, right? And then east-west protection with DFW, distributed firewall, running inside every single hypervisor. That protect your networks and for container, for bare metal and virtual machine. And we extend it to container, same concept. So add it into DFW, add into the firewall you have, nothing changes. You just add on top of that. And we have the security analytics, security intelligence running on top to see the visualize end-to-end, so that we have the full picture we're offering. So by the booth here, they show in all the use cases detail. So today I just talk about the yellow one. So that's the same thing, we just lay out differently. So left or right, same thing. And then app we want to show today, this is simple app, right? This is Acme app, we have multi-tier. In the traditional world, we have solid three-tier, front end, web, and app, and DB. Here you have front end, you have multiple tiers, like you do the Amazon shopping, any shopping services. You can go and do shopping, recommendation, check the catalog, put it in the cart, go payment, all the kind of things. So that is a fully multi-tier app written in multiple languages. So what you're doing when you do a thing, you go on the front end, every single box here is no longer a VM. Could be a container, could be anything. So everything is one container. The container, the front end, catalog, the card, and at the end, you go to database with the crowd jewels. Most of the attacker, when they attack to this here, have a lot of value of data here. Customer data, customer information, credit card, all of that. So attacker, usually they have a way you go directly to that. So how you can, very basic one, you need to go and block it. That's the first thing you do. You don't want people to go directly to your database and compromise the data. So that's one use case. So the app you can test right now. Whatever I show, you can see it here. This is the lab I have it here. So you can go and play with that. Here. And here I have the app, right? Hipster app. So this app, exactly what I show. You click and you do shopping. So every single click you do along the line is a one container. It's no longer a virtual machine. And we extend it to protect your network end to end. So here the guy go do check in, check out, and you click here, you do the shopping, add to the cart. So every click here along the line, we have the thing called Antrea with the CNI container network plugins to detect every single detail who talking with whom. So we can browse, we can trace the flow. When one container go another container. Same thing you do with virtual machine. So let's show the demo here. So when you see the system here, so I have familiar with NSX. This is NSX GUI, nothing there. So I have the whole NSX multiple tier application. So here, from VDIs, ID firewall, internet access, they all connect to the tier 0 to tier 1. So one thing I have, we call it Antrea here. So the tier 1 Antrea to capture all traffic from outside on container work coming. And we apply the policy directly to the Antrea here. So here, the containers. So you see they have a cluster here. So now the same concept we apply, they extend it to Kubernetes, and they onboard it inside NSX. Have you used NSX? Have you thought NSX can do container? Probably not, right? NSX can do container as the first large citizen, can push a policy, same thing like push a policy to virtual machine. And that's inside it here. When you onboard your cluster, Kubernetes, you just run one command to connect to NSX. From there, NSX can know everything. You see a single point of view. So this container can run on-prem, or could be running in the cloud. Amazon, EKS, doesn't matter. As soon as it's running in the cloud, we can have connection to the NSX, and then from there you can push the policy. And on top of that, we can manage virtual machine and physical machine, all the bare metal in here as well. And then you can apply the same group and tagging, same thing you do for NSX. But it create a new category, and the category called container. So here I have DFW rules here. So you see they have some policy for containers, one policy for virtual machine, or I can mix and match. So you see this group, I can create a group from VM, talk with the containers, and apply to DFW and push the policy. And then it show up on the hypervisor or also on the container side, which is Kubernetes in this case. And you can see in here, I create a rule here, right? So here I already created a rule here. So I can trace the flow here. So this thing you're already familiar with in NSX, who don't use it, you can trace flow from VM to VM, or the tuner area for networks automation, they can do them. But the thing they cannot do is VM to VM, VM to virtual machine, and VM container, or container to container. So you can trade the flow from the two part container in here. Now the trade flow for VM, this is trade flow for Kubernetes. And then I can select the node on the thing we have in here. Hold on. I select the cluster. Antrea, I have one cluster here. And then I select the namespace. The app is running Hipster app. I want to trade from the front end and to the services. And I select another port, Antrea, and I select Hipster app. I want to see, go and do catalog services, payment front end, or catalog. I hit trace. Then I can trade between the two containers. I can also trace between two VMs, same thing like I have in here. And I see the package being delivered. Now, if I create the rules to block, right? So in here, if I have something to protect, right? If I log into container here, so if I don't have, let me see. So I log into the containers. What I see here, Ubuntu, KAS, VMware, demo. So it may be too small. I don't know how to make it bigger. So then export the services. Here I export services to the outside world. So this app now export to the internet. If you go and type vmware-demo.net, you hit to the app running in production right now. And then attack my app right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to protect it. So I create a namespace. So I create a new namespace called Acme. In the Acme, I have the tool to attack. So I'm not supposed to go attack the database. So you can see here, so I get inside the attacker container. So what I'm running, the very basic, the telnet or ping or whatever thing to the Redis. I'm sorry, it's a bit small. But when you run the Redis, you should see there's gonna be no protection. So if the guy knows my credential, now they've been blocked because I created a rule already. And I go back and remove the rule, you see it, the guy can go and attack my applications. So the way I create the thing is I call it here, 3GR, bare metal, toolbox attacks. So here you have the rule here. Let me make it bigger. So the rule has been blocked. Create any attacker try to attack to my application in the Hipster app, apply to the Hipster app, I drop it. So that's why you're going to be able to make it. I change to allow. By default, it's allow, right? So I publish the rule. Same thing, I publish the rule for any virtual machine or bare metal. And they go back to the same app again. Right now, you see they try to connect, it cannot, right? Now I just quick, and I do the same thing again. Now you see it, now we connect it. So now you have to type it, and then now you're inside the application. So with the rule you created, you're going to create all of the things, and then allow it to block any traffic based on the application, based on the flow, based on the workload in here. So now, the first use case I show you, that's the container security, do micro-segmentation. Very easy. You just go and create an extra rules. I want to, this person or this container cannot talk to each other, and do that, right? And then I can do a lot of things. Can assign the egress, IPAM, FQDN filtering, IDS, IPS coming along later. So basically do full suite of security on the containers. And that we extend it. Now, in the past we do only VM or bare metal. Now we do the containers. Now apply the policy on ingress services, namespace. All the concept of Kubernetes have been applied inside the same NSX. Technically, you don't need to install anything else. NSX already there, right? And what you should do is just onboard it into the NSX. The second one, we can have a use case with extended. Now we have multiple namespace. So like I saw in the first demo, so 2 different namespace, and can block them to allow them to talk between them. The namespace is an application. One application running in one namespace, and the namespace running in the VM. And then you can protect it 2 layers. First layer virtual machine, second layer inside the application. You give much more granular because you cannot protect the application in the container the same way the application running is a virtual machine. Now, another use case, I saw people using, are you using container right now today? People using OpenShift or Rancher. And then what you can do is just run the containers plugin into that, so I connect to NSX. So we manage the security policies. And another use case I saw people do it, we can create multiple layers of security. So we keep NSX firewall as the baseline, and we create network policies in the container and enhance it in Antrea. We want to show that. So we have 2 layers of protection. First, the VM use the NSX firewall, distributed firewall, and container policy running on top of that. And then the last one is a very funny one. A lot of customers running like OpenShift, they have before CNI, Icon, Cilium, Calico, whatever. They want to keep it. That's fine, you can keep it. So you use Antrea or use NSX, you do enforcement on top. So you don't need to change your current CNI at all. You're going to add on top of that. So we apply policy because we run in technique on the OBS. So you're running on top of your current CNI. That you can also do that. So combine two CNI together. And then another use case, I think you should go to the hands-on lab, 2571, search for the hands-on lab, labplatform.vmware.com, and you search for vDefend, and you will see all of that. And this use case is very funny. That's the only hands-on lab. When you see in the hands-on lab, you're going to see combine the question you asked earlier. You combine the two cluster container on-prem, right? And then you can apply in the cloud you want, but in the lab we build the two cluster on-prem. And you have inside you have Antrea to protect your east-west, right? And your Antrea and RV controller to the north-south, so they can do ingress to control traffic from outside. And the way you access here is easy, right? You just go inside here. If you don't have it, I just go here. So you search for HOL, VMware, vDefend. Now it takes you directly to the link. You don't need to memorize it. Put in Google Chat, Google, and you can find it. And then when you log into that, I already log in here, and you see that lab already been built. In the lab, let me go back to the beginning. So when you log into the lab, you have the whole lab in here. So they give you the full suite of everything I show it. Two cluster, container, NSX, vCenter, everything in the same lab. And then you have the lab guy in here. And you navigate through all the chapters here. So we have 8 different chapters here. First we do the introduction for the RV. And what we do is what is on chapter 9. So module 9 takes you directly to the container. And then you can open that. In this lab, you basically have 2 clusters here, plus the RV and the NSX. When you log in the NSX, you do exactly the same thing I just demoed. So the lab guy walk you through step by step. Let's say I want to protect my network. How can I do it? This thing gonna click, 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 and then they walk you through step by step. And then you want to learn more, another web page, very good here. Everything about vDefend. This is on a community page. Do you know Broadcom have very good community page, no? All the resources, if you want to do something, you know where to find? I would go with community.broadcom.com. That has everything. And then they have expert exchanges. So this is broadcom.community.broadcom.com. And in here, you just drop down here. We are the first drop down here, network security. And you're going to learn all the latest network security and load balancer. On the left is security, on the right is RV. And you click here, reach out to me. So those are the things, you have my link, email on that, you just click and take to chat with me directly. So we show all use cases from the zero trust, ransomware, and the security solutions. So from the deck overview, deployment guides, hands-on lab, all in one place. So the security in here. So app security, the deck we present as an Explorer. So you're going to see it in this thing. You need to look around. And then tell you how to do deployments, the lab guides, and code sample, and all the extended container solution. So everything about vDefend, only container. Container is the last one. The first tool is how to do micro-segmentation, how to do ransomware protection. Easy, right? And now you want to learn about RV, same thing. RV, the load balancer, you go to community.vmware.com, you click on RV, and that's here. See all the latest about RV, the demo, how you do design, automation, all of that. And then one thing important, this is not a starting. You can exchange with people here like me, like a lot of experts on here. You have the click and thread, and you can post the question. Leverage that to communicate, because involving everything you come in, it's gonna have new thing coming. So easy, right? community.broadcom.com or hands-on lab. Hope that helps. So stop by in see more detail nhé.